Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to Roland's Reviews. Please hit that little thumb. That is the like button that tells YouTube you are enjoying this content. And my girls might be the only person that remembers this song. It's so old. We'll see. And I'll do the roll call momentarily. Good morning, evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. Is that love's in need of love today? Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. All right. Okay. I can come back on screen now. People are coming in. All right. Yes. My girls. One of the best albums ever released. If you have not heard or listened to Songs in the Key of Life with Stevie Wonder, you are definitely, thank you, Jammer. You are definitely missing a treat. There's so many songs talking about the human condition and just basically how we should treat people. It's just a beautiful, beautiful double album, just beautiful. And my girls, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to keep you informed of what's happening. So we'll start off with this because I told you as I receive updates on this situation, I won't be on it long, but I want to make sure you are aware of everything that's happening in this situation so that you can be observant and mentally alert in your surroundings, regardless of where you live. Okay. So go ahead, hit that little thumb. That's the like button. If we can bring in a lot of people, I want to know. I do a lot of talking, but I also like to hear what you're saying. Beverly, how you doing, dear? My girls, they seek self-worth, value, and approval from a culture that can only produce death and destruction. Boom, my girls gets it. Yes, Stacy, Mayor is here. How you doing, love? Chicago Hood. Hi, Miss Lynn. Mods in chat. Love to you. Working, but will listen and comment in favor. Chicago, we're just glad you're here, dear. Chicago, thank you for those very poignant, uh, uh, you, you know, comments and quotes that you leave. Yeah, those of you, again, I read my comments, and those biblical scriptures that you left, Chicago Hood, I really did some soul searching. So I do read your comments. If you take the time to leave them, I feel it's my duty, my job to read them and to comment on them as well. Shadow Seeker, working on coding. Okay, that's okay. We're glad you're here. Connie, yes, yes, yes. We love you too, being in this community. Ollie, how you doing? Megan is here. How you doing, Megan? Lord Jammer, we missed you. We're glad you're back with us today. Those of you who have social media, please go ahead, share this stream out on your various social media pages. Okay, Boss Chick is back. How you doing, love? My girls, you are not bearing what you keep. Yes, my girls. I mean, I know, my girls, this is what we talked about, what happened. Remember when I was showing you some of the comments that people were making? We know unhinged people take that and they start making plans. And so I would be doing you a disservice if I did not share this with you, but we won't be on it long. Tina, this is heartbreaking in America. Tina, yes. And this is why, even though we're talking about something else, I will keep you informed. Now, if you are familiar with this, type a 1 in the comment section. Now, if you look at today's title, Black people are upset at Ralph Lauren because his new collection is racist, because to the people who are upset, let me give you a hint who they are. They're the people who voted for Kamala. All right, some of them anyway. And again, Black Americans are not monolithic. Not all Black Americans live in the ghetto. Not all Black Americans are poor. But what do we see in the clips on social media? What do we see on television? And so people just automatically throw everyone in the same barrel, and that is not reality. And so that's just where we are. And it's just sad that people don't, read and try to learn what's really going on. Okay. So tell me what your thoughts are. Hit that little thumb. If you hit that thumb, YouTube may possibly share this stream out with even more people. And I just think that it's a shame that, and we've talked about, right, the elites, but you need to show every aspect of a culture, not just the ratchet ghetto. The people that you see in the clips, they're all the people doing the things you should not be doing. And that's just where we are with that. So let me share this article, and there's a short clip. Man accused of threatening to unalive 30,000 Black people in Cincinnati days after mega viral attack video. How many of you are old enough to remember we said this was going to happen? I showed you some of the threat. I'm surprised. You know how YT is always shutting down comments for little or nothing. I'm surprised YT has not done anything. How many of you were here and I shared several of those comments, and then my girls couldn't take it anymore and said, please share something else. It was too depressing. How many of you were here? And you can say little or nothing. And now Alley Cat's probably here. YouTube has stopped her. YT has shut down her comments. So she may be here. She just isn't allowed to comment. So again, I'm shocked. Shadow Seeker. Every time our New York controversy, Mandamani or something comes up, I just say, yeah, you want to live in the USSR. Good luck. Yes, you know it. So here we are. An Ohio resident. Let me know. I need to see by a account in the chat, in the comment section. How many of you have heard about this incident? This guy threatening to unalive 30,000 Black people in Cincinnati. I need to know as I read this. So, an Ohio resident who this man nearly decapitated a woman. I guess I forgot what years ago. During a confrontation last year, is now facing federal charges over a post on X, the Elon Musk-owned social network formerly known as Twitter, where he vowed to cleanse an entire city of Black people, according to a newly unsealed FBI affidavit. Connie hasn't. Baldwin, no. Lord Jammer, just now, no. Okay, so listen. Listen to this, folks. We said this was going to happen. Ruby, have you heard about this, love? So where are we? Scott Hanna, 30 years old, was arrested Friday morning on one count of making interstate communications with a threat to injure after the Cincinnati Police Department sent screenshots of the July 31st post to the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. So none of you have heard of this? Oh my goodness. Ruby, no, oh wow. So I'm glad I am sharing that. Wherever you live, people, be alert, because I showed you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to see the video I did. Was it Friday or Saturday? And I think it was Friday. Organizing mobs to kill. This is his post. Let me highlight this. This is what he said he was doing: organizing mobs to kill all the apes in Cincinnati, since at Governor Mike DeWine and at OSHP won't do anything about this nonsense, the post read. We the people need to paint the town red and kill them all. Fill the morgues and cleanse the city of blacks. By Sunday, we are aiming to have unalived 30,000. Beverly, how you doing? Tina, did we not say this would happen? Once I showed you those comments, we said, okay, we have to watch out and be careful. Cincinnati has a black population of about 120,000. The affidavit doesn't specify how Hanna allegedly planned to carry out his threat or what it was that set him off, but video of an interracial brawl last Saturday in downtown Cincinnati went mega viral and appears to be based on the timeline what may have inspired it. Hanna lives in Dayton with his grandfather, a retired judge, according to public records. So he's a guy, he's 30 years old. He's not living on his own. Right, Lord Jammer. In an initial appearance on Friday afternoon, I'll show you his mugshot, don't worry, in Dayton, federal court, prosecutors asked for Hanna to remain detained pending trial, arguing he was too dangerous to be released. Hanna does not yet have an attorney listed in public filings and was unable to be reached. Now, again, those of you just coming in, hit that like button. This guy last year almost decapitated, slashed this woman's throat, and she was almost decapitated. So you see what type of person we're dealing with. Totally unhinged. When the FBI received word of the offending message posted Thursday to Hanna's X account, agents immediately submitted an emergency disclosure request to the company for the identity of the user behind at General Quinney, according to the FBI affidavit. X responded with an email address consisting of the first three letters of Hanna's first name plus his entire last name. The affidavit states, it says the FBI then reviewed at General Quinney's X account, which included at least one photograph that appeared to match Hanna's official Ohio driver's license photo, and agents had AT&T trace the IP address from where the post threatening mass unaliving originated. The account was in Hanna's name at an address in Dayton, matching the one listed in state motor vehicle records, the affidavit says. Next, investigators submitted an emergency disclosure request to Google for the email address associated with the X account in question, which was soon identified as belonging to Hanna, and listed his personal cell as a recovery number and his Google Pay account as having been set up under his name and address, according to the affidavit. Hit that like button, folks. Type in the comment section what you're thinking about this, folks. I'm not done. This is FBI agents brought their findings to local law enforcement, who told agents they were familiar with Hanna from a past encounter. Look at this, folks. So this guy is nuts. On September 11th, 2024, all right, 9/11, right? Police responded to the home where Hanna lives for a reported menacing in progress. The affidavit goes on. While officers were en route, Hanna called dispatch and asked to speak with a detective, it says. Hanna told them if they were not going to charge a specific individual, then he was going to cut her head off. The affidavit continues. He stated, if you don't want an incident, then you better send cops to my address because I'm done with this. Okay, so you can understand what he's saying there. So on about July 31st, 2025. So this was his post here. Okay. This was on his official X page. I don't know. I'm sure it's probably been taken down now, but I read that just up above. Hannah subsequently swung a full-size. Look at this part. Look at this. People are nuts. Okay. How you doing, Maga Tamara? Maga Tamara, this guy I'm talking about, threat Scott Hanna, he's in custody. He threatened to unalive 30,000 Black Americans in Cincinnati. The FBI was alerted. He's now in federal custody. Okay. All right. So this is what he did. This is his prior. So that's going to sort of tell you what kind of guy we're dealing with here. Hannah subsequently swung a full-size sword at her neck, resulting in a serious physical injury and what appeared to be, read this, folks, and a partial decapitation, according to the affidavit. State court records do not provide further details, and it is unclear if Hannah ever faced any serious charges over the situation. This is my question. If you almost decapitate another human being, why are you out in the general public? See? Blue cities, blue cities, blue cities. No, thank you. How you doing? Maga, yes, Maga, yes. Did we not say this was going to happen? Right, Tina? The cuckoos. All right. So what is known, however, is that Hannah called a police officer the N-word in the aftermath, having become extremely irate once cops showed up on the scene. So when the cops showed up, one of the cops was Black American, and then he proceeded to call him the N-word. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Local law enforcement noted that they had previous contact with Hannah when he claimed the same specified individual had broken into his residence, according to the affidavit. So this guy's nuts. In a statement issued Friday, FBI Cincinnati Special Agent in charge, Elena Alatorla, said the Bureau aggressively investigates those who threaten our communities with violence. Threats like this impact the entire community and have serious consequences, Alatorla said. Tyrola. If convicted, Hannah faces up to 5 years in federal prison. So there's that. Hit that like button. Tell me what you think about this. MAGA, disgusting behavior. Yes, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Boom. Tina, he should not. Tina, why is he out walking around and he partially decapitated someone? I have an issue with that. I do. Now let me show you a short clip on him. So again, folks, whatever state you're living in, be aware of your surroundings. You don't know. People are ticking time bombs. You don't know what they will do. They're nuts. All right, here you go. And let me make sure you can see. All right, everything is queued up. Here we go.
First tonight at 11, a Dayton man is in custody after sharing a tweet threatening to kill 30,000 people.
30-year-old Scott Michael Hanna was arrested this morning by the FBI and appeared in court this afternoon. 2 News reporter Evan Bales is live in the newsroom after talking with some neighbors about what happened. Evan?
Brooke, Jack, Hanna is facing 5 years in prison for a tweet put out on X yesterday, and he's charged with making an interstate communication with the threat to injure. The FBI showed up this morning after that tweet caught their attention.
Called me and said, "You won't believe it, but the police are out here."
This is the scene that greeted Scott Michael Hanna's neighbors. Federal agents surrounding his home, shouting for him to surrender himself to the police. All of this stemmed from a racially charged tweet, with Hanna claiming he was going to gather a mob and kill thousands of Black people, saying they were going to fill the morgues and by Sunday have killed.
Okay, so there he is. You see that? There's his mugshot. Does he not look deranged? How you doing, Jason? Hit that like button, dear. Yeah, all of you, please hit that like button. Share this stream out on Truth Social. Share this stream out on your Facebook as well as your Instagram pages. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, so those of you, yes, Maga, why is he out walking around? Jason says, what medication is Hanna on and how many times was he jabbed? Good question. So those of you just joining the chat, this guy threatened to unalive 30,000 black, well, he called them chimps in Cincinnati. And of course, this is all stemming from the viral situation. Remember where you saw the mob attacking the white man, the white woman who was knocked out cold, unconscious. Yeah, so here we go.
30,000. Cincinnati police reported the post to the FBI, who reached out to local law enforcement, saying Hannah had a history with them. In a prior incident in September of 2024, Hannah used a sword to strike a woman in the neck, resulting in serious injury and what police called a partial decapitation. When approached by officers, he became irate, yelling and calling one of them a racial slur. On Friday, the FBI released a statement saying in part, quote, "The FBI aggressively investigates those who threaten our communities with violence. Threats like this impact the entire community and have serious consequences," end quote. Neighbors I spoke with said it's scary what happened, and they hope Hannah can get the help he needs. Another neighbor who has lived here for years says the police have been to Hannah's unit 3 times in the last year.
I'm not surprised based on the unit and based on just like the recent history, but you know, one bad seed doesn't make the whole neighborhood terrible, you know.
Now, Hannah did not enter a plea in court today and is scheduled to appear next on August 13th for a preliminary hearing. Live in the newsroom, Evan Bales, 2 News.
All right. So again, I wanted to share that with you. I know those of you just joining, hit the like button. How you doing, Tijuana Border Jumper and JJ Mars? Where are all the black law enforcement in that area? Why are they not following this guy? You're just joining, JJ Mars. We were saying this guy shouldn't even be walking around. I have his rap sheet. He sliced a woman's throat with a sword and partially decapitated the woman. Lanita, how you doing, love? If all of you hit that like button, we can reach our goal. Jeffrey, hit that like button. Hello, dear. My girls, yeah. And I have one more short clip to share about him, and then we're going to get into why we are here. Okay, let me see if I can share this Facebook with you. I have one more short clip. It's less than a minute, and then we'll move on. So those of you just coming in, don't worry. I'm quickly working through this. I have to keep you informed so you are aware and so you are alert to everything going on. Because there are, again, if you were here, you saw the comments, and people are mobilizing and they are planning to harm people and to unalive
in Cincinnati.
All right. So let me start this from the beginning, and then we're done with this story.
I'm Kyle Linsky, but the local 12 alert desk for you this afternoon. FBI agents arrest a man after they say he made threats online wanting to kill tens of thousands of people right here in Cincinnati. In a release, the FBI says 30-year-old Scott Michael Hanna allegedly posted on X yesterday saying that he was organizing mobs.
So those of you just joining, I'll leave this up for a minute. You can read everything that this guy threatened to do. All right. I wanted you to see that. Tijuana and Jeffrey, JJ Mars. I know some of you are just joining. Hit that like button, folks. We have about 50 people in here. Only 30 people have hit. If all of you hit that little thumb, oh, the places we could go. How you doing, Knockin' Futz? Yes. We said, you were here, Knockin' Futz. We said people are planning to unalive people. We're not saying this to scare people. We are telling you what is actually going on and what people are planning to do. So I have people come on here all the time. Oh, you're just making things up. I'm really not. In this day and age, you can't do that because just about everyone has the internet. If you have Facebook, we need to get the word out, because most of you, when I asked, most of you have not heard about this guy. Folks, we need to be aware. And that's why I'm trying to keep you aware of everything happening. No problem, Knockin' Futz. All right, so here we go. All right, I'm going to let this play, and then we're done with this subject.
to kill people in Cincinnati and that he was aiming to kill 30,000 people by Sunday. Agents arrested him this morning on a federal charge of interstate communication with a threat to injure. Court documents indicate police are familiar with Hanna at his Dayton, Ohio area home in September. He apparently called police and threatened to cut off someone's head. The FBI says that he partially decapitated a victim with a sword. At that time, he's also accused of using a racial slur while yelling at officers. Now, we are told that Hanna was to appear in court this afternoon in Dayton for the online threat. We are working to learn more and we'll share it with you just as soon as we do.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. It's called Watch Your Back, Put Your Phone Up, and Be Visual Where You Go. Boom. That's why so many things happen to people now. Everyone's on their phone, that people are not alert. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely right. Ruby, everyone that wrote under his post and agreed needs to be looked at by the FBI. Boom. I'm not going to argue with that. So hit that like button, folks. Lanita, they can plan, but they will FAFO. Just saying. Lanita, especially if you are living in a place like I am and we are all packing. So when someone comes with some nonsense and some shenanigans, well, I told you, and down here in North Carolina, we don't have a problem laying you out like Family Guy. I'm just saying. Everyone, please stay alert, be cognizant of your surroundings, because crazy nut jobs are everywhere. Tijuana Border Jumper, how you doing, love? Thank you so much for the super chat. You know I'm sending you some hearts right now. There we go. If he already partially decapitated someone, what the is he doing not locked up? Tijuana, that's what I said. They know this guy's a ticking time bomb. He told them on the phone that he was going to decapitate a woman. They didn't get there quick enough. He partially decapitated said woman. Why is he walking around? Maga, this is a shame. I have to change who I am because I will talk to anybody and I trust anyone unless they give me a reason not to. Yes, just be careful, love. Okay, just be careful. Now let's get to the topic, because I have people, your title says one thing, you're talking about something else. But when I feel I need to inform you about something, you know, I'll take that extra few minutes to do that. I don't want you walking around because, hey, we all get busy and sometimes we forget. So, yes, Lord Jammer, exactly. They're too weak. All the blue cities are weak. Forget that. I'm good. I'll stay where I'll continue living in the South, okay? Ralph Lauren, how many of you are familiar? If you look at the title, how many of you are familiar with this title, this subject matter? My girls, the black people complaining are big mad they didn't get picked to model for Ralph Lauren or anyone else for that matter. Yeah, my girl, you know what? It's to the point. You can't make people happy. Just go ahead and do what you're going to do. That's just where we are. They're mad because Cincinnati is weak on cartel. Hey, DJ, that's why he's trying to get, 8. My girl's 8 picked. Okay. Ralph Lauren, how many of you are, if you're familiar with this, type a 1 in the comment section. Tijuana Border Jumper, don't be fooled. Anyone could do anything nowadays. Yes. Doesn't matter the race or the gender. People are completely unhinged. That's why I don't go to a lot of public places. People are just crazy. And that people are miserable. And they try to start fights and they'll walk up to you. They'll start cursing you out. Who needs that? Yes, Maga. Be cognizant of all races and genders. Be careful, love. So type a 1 if you're familiar with today's title topic. Ralph Lauren. How many of you boss chicks? Jeffrey, me too, dear. Jeffrey knows about it. Who else? Who knows about this? Boss Chick and Jeffrey, is that it? About Ralph Lauren and the controversy. Black Americans, hood rats, are trying to cancel Ralph Lauren. Complaining about the preppy aesthetic. Ralph Lauren created the preppy aesthetic. Jason, for people who live in the ghetto, yes, that may be their reality, but that is not every Black American's reality. Okay, Laurie, I'm glad you're here. Laurie, I forgot to send you your kitty cats. So let me send those and then we'll get going. I have to send Laurie her kitty cats. There you go. Okay, Laura Jammer, something new. I'm behind. I'm still with the jeans drama because Shadow Seeker, they're trying to get them to apologize. Tell those people are just miserable. Just you can't make them happy. Just forget it. Okay, Tijuana, let me explain what happened. Ralph Lauren's collection. How many of you know about the Black community that lives in Martha's Vineyard? They've been there, God, since the beginning of time. How many of you are familiar with that? So again, everyone is not from the hood. Everyone is not living, every Black American is not living at the poverty level. Nuck and futz. Okay. So Ralph Lauren's Oak Bluff collection. It was inspired by the historic Black community on Martha's Vineyard. Has sparked mixed reactions while some praise the collection for honoring Black culture and history. Others criticize it for potentially promoting Black elitism and an unrealistic portrayal of the Black experience. Some perceive, okay, Laura, you haven't heard of it. Okay, right, Shadow Seeker. Some perceive the collection's preppy aesthetic, reminiscent of historically Black colleges and universities, as a celebration of a specific segment of the Black community rather than a broader representation. Those of you who watched The Cosby Show, if you remember when The Cosby Show first premiered, which I never watched it because it never really, I looked at a different world. I was in college at the time. So I was like, okay, I connected more with that. But I mean, The Cosby Show was all right, but I was still looking. I told you, I still look at the old shows from the 60s and 70s. So I was still looking at Gunsmoke, Bewitched, The Rifleman. So I never really looked at The Cosby Show. I did not. So hit the like button. 51 people in here. 34 people have hit the like button. Wow. All right. Help me out here. Here's a breakdown. So again, celebration of Black legacy. The collection is seen as a tribute. So he's trying to, offer a tribute. But people, Lord Jammer, The Cosby Show was awesome. I was just stuck in the 60s and 70s and, Twilight Zone. Some of the stuff I looked at was from the 50s too. His servant, Connie Mellor. How you doing, love? I love Lucy, Jeffrey. I was looking at that too. My girls. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button. We have more people joining. Hit it. So challenging stereotypes, Black elitism. In other words, think of barrels of crabs. So again, I told you, when you look at the clips on social media of Black people in America, how many of you see Black professionals? That's not what we see. We see ratchet ghetto behavior. So keep voting for the Democratic Party. That's how they portray you to the world. Oh my, don't watch The Rifleman unless you want to end up buying a lever. Oh, Jason, I look at The Rifleman every day, love. I have the Pluto app on my phone. So I look at Gunsmoke, all the Westerns I love just about. Boss Chick, you love the Ralph Lauren collection. Well, so this is, but this is the issue. The collection's focus on rest and relaxation as a space for the Black body aims to challenge the perception that the Black experience. So, in other words, if you're Black and you're in America, you're supposed to be poor, downtrodden, on welfare, just everything negative you can think of. That is not the case. Oh my God. Yeah, my girls, if you're old enough to remember that elite fashion is similar to what was worn in the early 80s. Oh, yes, my girls, I'm old enough. Yes, Shadow Seeker, thank God. The people that are complaining live the life of the Evans family versus the Huxtable. Boom. Yes, love the old show. His servant, yes. If I think you're new here, hit that subscribe button, love, if you're enjoying this. Maga Tamara. It's odd to me when they say whitewashing history. However, they took Black slave owners out of history, or at least tried to. Exactly. They don't want to tell the full story. Exactly. Tina, when I see Blacks making something with their life, I see other Blacks knocking them down. Boom. That's what I'm talking about, Tina. And you have to acknowledge that this exists. Not all Black people live poor. I know, oh my God. As a woman, I tried to get on this show, not Miss Ruby, Miss Ruby, and oh God, I forgot the other lady's name. Anyway, I've tried to get, they're part of the Black Americans who left the South, went north, got good jobs. Now they're all moving back to the South. And Miss Ruby, I think, is about 90 years old. And the other lady is in her pushing 90, I think. And they're doing very well. And you don't hear about them. The only thing you see are people in the ghetto fighting, destroying things. What about the people who aren't doing that? Right? Or maybe I missed it. Someone tell me, Lanita, I grew up private schools, upper middle class, and I have only known presentable conservative fashion and lifestyle. It's always some ghetto folks that want to push their non-professional agenda and failure. Boom. And Lanita, I'm like you. I was not raised to fail. And so I don't know anything about that mindset. I was raised to produce. My mom, God rest her soul, she had 2 degrees. Okay. So I had to produce. Remember, I told you dad was military. I had to produce. I didn't hear, oh, you can't make it because of white supremacy and racism. I did not hear that in my household. I did not. My girls, there are poor blacks that still keep themselves and their families well put together. It is what you choose to do with your life. Exactly. And you feel bad, my girls, for the marginalized Black Americans who live in poverty, who aren't out here doing these horrible things, but they throw everyone in the same barrel. Ruby, I grew up poor, but I was never a ratchet hood rat. Exactly. Just because you're living in poverty, you don't have to act, do some of the things that we see some of these people doing. So the price point, there are also people who are complaining about the high price of the clothing. Newsflash, Ralph Lauren clothing is not cheap for Black or white people. I'm just saying. So so anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Hit that like button and let me give you a little history. I wish I had time to show you all of the videos, but I don't. Racism is a choice to hold on to the victim mindset. Without it, they would have to hold themselves accountable to a higher standard. My girls, that's the point. Exactly. And I think, oh God, I was not raised with a victim mentality. I had to produce. I had to. There were no excuses that I could give. Thank God. Hit the like button, folks. They talk about individualism, but everyone is supposed to dress the same. Right. So I have this. The first video I'm going to share with you is from the Ralph Lauren. I mean, they put together a beautiful video, and they're trying to show another side of Black Americans Black America that does exist, because all you see in social media is the worst. The ratchet hood rats who are causing all the problems. So here we are. Listen to this. This is beautiful. And why they're complaining and want everyone to stay at the poverty level is beyond me. I will not. Heck no. All right, listen to this, folks. Those that don't know, Morehouse, Spelman, those are private, historically Black colleges and universities. The ghetto cruises get more airplay. Yes, that's all they show. They don't show all Black Americans are not involved in nefarious activities, out here stealing, using drugs, all of the ratchet behavior. They don't show this. I like this, to show that there are Black Americans who are doing very well. I know some of them. I don't know anyone that lives on Martha's Vineyard, but I know some that are doing very well.
We made the concerted choice to be here in Oak Bluffs because we knew we would be safe. This place nurtures from the heart, from the soul, and from the environment that's here, and the way that you're able to build bonds with people.
There are gifts to all the legacies to people who have rested, slept, recreated at Martha's Vineyard, but there is something mystical there that draws people. In silence, that's when the revelations come. The stories that are told by the porches that people sit on. You can draw strength and power from an awareness of where you are.
What do you think so far, folks? I like how they go back and they're showing the black and white photos. So what is, his servant? I love the classic preppy style. It is modest, which we need now. Yes, his servant. Exactly. I like it. So as we're watching this, we won't watch all of it because I have some other videos to share with you. Tell me what you think about this. I'll try to keep up with your comments.
Well, I think perhaps I should say what you, I think, are aware of. Our people are deeply mystical, you might say spiritual, and we have an appreciation for place. Martha's Vineyard, it's like a little southern village.
Laurie said, this is a nice video. Why are people so upset about it? I don't see anything. They're wrong because they're saying it's not accurately portraying Black America. But there are Black Americans that live there. So this is not made up. How many of you, by a type of one, how many of you knew about this Black community there at Martha's Vineyard? So I think the ghetto ratchet community, they get enough airplay. Let's show this. How you doing, Coco Empress? All right, one, how you doing? Yes, hit that like button, love. Also, if you are enjoying this content, hit that subscribe button. I like it. It's beautiful. Show more than just one.
Very folksy. Really kind of churchy.
Look at how people used to dress, not dressing ratchet. You don't see bonnets and things on people's heads, right?
How Martha's Vineyard became Martha's Vineyard has an awful lot to do with traffic. Who came through here? And by coming through here, bequeathed something.
The first time I traveled to Martha's Vineyard, I was 10. And from then on, I've gone almost every year. I think it makes sense for the Ralph Lauren brand to tell the story of Martha's Vineyard because Ralph and everybody here lives by that iconic vision of a better life. Everybody wants a better life.
Yes, Beverly, how you doing? Beverly, yeah, the Obamas, they have a place in Martha's Vineyard. Brother OG, I said, I honestly did not know about this history. The video is very nice, very well done. That's what I'm saying, Brother OG. And these people, you're actually listening to this woman on the board of directors at Ralph Lauren, a Black woman, and she says she goes every year. People dress very elegantly, very nice back then. Yes, Coco. I don't care what anyone from the hood says. On Easter Sunday, Grandma had y'all looking. Yes, Coco. Yes, Coco, you're right. Let me continue. I told you, very well put together video.
I think every person has to know the history when they step on the sacred ground. After 1783, you have Black farmers who are married to indigenous people who are providing not only for Black communities, but communities throughout Massachusetts. They were respected on Martha's Vineyard.
It's important to understand there's a variety of histories, such as what we see here with Oak Bluffs. Generations of African Americans here developed some level of wealth and legacy in their own families.
I was fortunate to be born into the Sheriff family. And the Sheriff family first came to Martha's Vineyard in the late 1800s. My great-grandmother, Henrietta Merchant Sheriff, and Charles married in Virginia at Hampton. In the 1890s, they decided to move north for a freer life. They became introduced to Martha's Vineyard.
What do you think about this so far? Tijuana, that's what we're saying. They don't show this. What do we see on a daily basis? Because I share some of especially the shorts with you. The ratchet hood rats who are out here committing all the problems. His servant, you can get these clothes at places like TJ Maxx and secondhand. Okay. We need more things like this out here. Yeah. And I said, you know, in light of all the negative things we've been covering, I said, let me share this. Shadow Seeker, there are a lot of families across the country that have these values, but the extreme weirdos, yes, those are the loudest. My girls, I love it. Black, successful, classy, dignified, smart. My girls, type in the comment section. Do you see this in the mainstream media? That we know the liberals are running it, right? So they're the ones that are portraying Black Americans like this, but keep voting blue no matter who. Here we go.
African Americans were not welcomed for the most part at other guest houses on the island. So he decided, I'm going to open an inn.
They've always been important because they are the root, the origin of the Black excellence here in Oak Bluffs.
Sheriff Cottage became, I would say, the hub not only of our family, but of the African American community in Martha's Vineyard. Many came from Boston and many came from New York. Adam Clayton Powell Sr., who also brought his son, Adam Clayton Powell Jr., Harry G. Burley, and we were happy to have Madam C.J. Walker come to Sheriff Cottage as one of our guests.
If they came up, they had a big community surrounding them already, all right? And it made it a lot easier for them to let the collars down and rest and relax.
Martha's Vineyard was the first vacation place I ever went to where being Black was normal. I really didn't realize how big a Black social scene it was. For some people, it's like going to a family reunion.
Man, when I take my family on a vacation, we want to relax.
One popular vacation spot is the resort town of Oak Bluffs, situated on Martha's Vineyard, a small island off the coast of Cape Cod. For fun and relaxation, thousands travel here each summer to claim their place in the sun. Doctors, teachers, and other professionals are prominent, and many have bought and maintained summer homes they intend to pass out in their families for generations.
Is this not wonderful, folks? I'm loving this. Connie, they always show the bad. Exactly. You're fine, my girls. As fast as we see in ours, yeah. Okay. They never show articulate Black people. Anthony, they don't. They show the hood rats. Obama deported 8 million people. Yes, he did. As fast as we see, where are we? Okay, a lot of comments. Is this not nice? Jason, why the media pushes a certain segment of a certain community is a whole other conversation. Right. We could talk about that from now until the rapture, Jason. We know why. Yeah, Ruby, a lot of people are talking about this. I love this. This is very well put together.
Clothing was so important. every picture I've ever seen of Sheriff Cottage's guests. And my great-grandfather, he always had suit jacket or a vest, three-piece suit.
So as they got dressed, they were able to express how they wanted the world to see them.
You look at the pictures of these handsome Black men and women, and you realize how important it was for them.
The choices were beautiful country suits that you would wear on the beach or wear at a garden party here in Oak Bluffs. And so it had that look. The tweeds and the linens are perfect.
To see people who look like us, dressed in beautiful clothes that I love, and that I can imagine us being comfortable, that's where I think the magic comes in.
People would often joke that, it's like one might have on, crumpled up old linen. It's okay because you might be working your garden that day. But there's a certain relaxed nature to the way that we present ourselves here. I'm not going to say that we don't get dressed up. We most definitely do. There's an ownership of what that style might look like.
There's,
of course, my girl's very good statement. Unfortunately, some young Blacks won't even take a look at this because it's not widely accepted in their circle of friends. Yeah, or what the ghetto people on the lower end of the economic, socioeconomic spectrum. Oh, you're acting white. No, you're just trying to live like a normal human being. You're not acting like anyone. His servant, my grandfather always had on a suit except at the beach. He would, yeah. Oh, his servant. You look at the pictures from the old people. They could be out working as a street sweeper. They were still dressed very well. Tijuana border jumper. They showed ain't nobody got time for that. And the house was on fire, ladies to no end. Yes, of course, Tijuana, of course. Yes, boss chick. This is nice. That's okay, Jeffrey. This wait, I don't understand why Beyonce dyes her hair blonde. Yeah, my God, I don't know. All right, here we go.
There's also a timelessness to Martha's Vineyard. It's okay that it's worn. It's okay that it's a little rusty. It's part of its charm. And I think one of the things that we value about our clothing is that you can look into your closet and find something you bought here 25 years ago. It's going to look just as good as it did the day you bought it. And that's how I think about the vineyard.
Legacy is basically has established 2 generations of ownership. I think you did an interview with a lady by the name of Jocelyn Coleman. She's legacy. Her family's been here at least since 1923.
Wow.
Let me tell you about my grandmother, because that's why we have the property. My grandmother was very determined. So she went ahead, found a house in the Highlands, and she purchased it without my grandfather's knowledge. Life started when the day school closed, and we drove with my grandmother in one of those Woody station wagons to the vineyard and spent the whole summer. So it was like a haven for us. We would walk all the way down to the inkwell and change into our bathing suits and go to the beach and be there all day long.
Anthony, why isn't anyone in the video twerking? Boom, because they had class, right, Anthony? Class, dignity, respect, character, all of that. Get a rope. Supporting a leader who cages the vulnerable while bearing a legacy of bondage isn't just contradictory, it's a betrayal of memory. All right, get a rope. All right, hit the like button, folks. If you're enjoying this content, hit that subscribe button. Like someone said, they don't hate whites. They hate that they're not white. That's why Beyonce and Joyless Reed bleach out their hair. Boom. Right. People need to see this. Look at the way people dress now. Sweats, pajamas. I'm thinking, did you really leave the house dressed like that? Yes, Jason. Right. The people that need to see this the most won't be able to relate to it. Boom. All right, I'll play another minute, and then every video that I share with you is already in the description box, so you can watch it in its entirety. But I wanted to share at least 10 minutes of it. It's beautiful.
I've never lived anywhere in my life where I don't wake up one morning and see water. It's one of the Caribbean islands. It just moved a little further north and lots of palm trees on its way up.
There are things about this place that have to do with the beauty of the land, the color of the light. For us, having the ability to have a relationship to things that are good, that make us whole and human and healthy. Those are really, really important things.
There's something so peaceful about the vineyard that you can exhale. When I set foot on that soil, I breathe differently.
Just being here, it's just a peace of mind and the safety. Those people who have planted the seed, much flowers to them that I can get this opportunity to be here.
The very notion of Black home ownership, even
So now all Black people rent. No, we have these people that own Shelley and Sidney Stewart. All right, here we go.
today is a challenging concept. If you look at the aggregate numbers, if you think about what built Oak Bluffs, it was actually Black second home ownership.
My grandchildren still can come and go. I want them to understand that Granny did this for us.
And this is very important. By maintaining your grandparents or your parents' home, you are able to acquire generational wealth. And I tell that to new families that I meet, try to hold on to this property that will allow you to build your own legacy.
I'm Shelley Stewart III, and my son is the fourth. My father's junior, and his father was senior, and all four of us have spent significant time on the vineyard. For me, it's always been about the inspiration that it provides.
I would hope that my great-grandparents will look back and say, you're doing a good job, Lee. You know, keeping the family legacy going.
This is a really special home from a historical perspective. The house was owned by a gentleman named Joe Overton. He was the president of the NAACP out of New York, and it's known as the house for African Americans where strategy took place.
During the Civil Rights Movement, it was like a place for rest and relaxation. Martin Luther King, Bayard Rustin, Harry Belafonte, and other people.
It was the aunties that would say, oh yeah, we used to see Martin on your porch. And no one would bother him. He just liked to be in the rocking chair, and he was often writing. So that oral history is really rich. There aren't too many places where everyone feels welcome.
Yes, Coco, facts. I've always said this is how generations later people can say my family have multiple homes, so and so. Ownership and keeping it. Yes, Lord Jammer, I bet Black liberals are asking why they not speaking Ebonics or twerking or smoking weed. Boom. Right. Yes. Oh my goodness, my girls, get a rope stuck in the Stockholm syndrome. Woo! Get them. All right. So yeah, I won't play all of that because I do have other clips to play with you, and I don't want to keep you forever, but it would behoove you to watch it through to its entirety, because this was very well mixed together. They have the old history, they have the people that live there now. Oh, very, very, very well put together. One of you said that, and I agree. Tina, this is the way to teach kids. Tina, please say that for the people in the back, ma'am. Thank you. Now, let me get to the people who are upset about the video. And there's a young lady, I don't know if she's here. I told her she could join us. We'd love to have her. I was watching her earlier, and I told her if she had time, I asked her, said, hey, come on, drop in, because I'm going to share. She did a video on this. And okay, here we go. All right. We're going to share. Her video is in the description box as well. And so now you're going to hear about some of the people She's gonna give you, this lady's gonna give you her commentary on it, and I'm like, you are dead on. Okay, here we go. So I hope she joins us.
An issue with Ralph Lauren's latest collection of Oak Bluff and saying that it's basically pushing Black elitism. Now, I'm going to save my commentary to the end, so y'all make sure to stick around for that. I'm going to go ahead and review some videos to kind of get an idea of what everybody is mad about.
You're not the target audience for this. It wasn't meant for you, and that's okay. Why is Black people being shown in a positive light such a problem for you? We didn't all grow up stealing. In fact, if I'd ever thought about stealing, my mom would probably put me 6 feet under. This is not one band, one sound. We are not a monolith, and we all grew up with different experiences. Not everything is out of a Tyler Perry struggle movie. The same people that have a problem with this are the same people in school talking about, look at that nigga reading. Why does he talk so white? You're so articulate. Are you trying to be white? Just for simply wanting to do well in school. This collection does an excellent job in showcasing that we have diverse styles, diverse opinions within the Black community. We started dandyism. We can dress preppy. We can do great tailoring. This collection is out of your budget and that's why you're upset. That's a totally different conversation to have. But in this day and age where we have brands like American Eagle pushing eugenics with Sydney Sweeney, it's even more important to be able to have this type of representation as a part of American culture. And having a major fashion brand like Ralph Lauren doing this is giving it exactly the amount of visibility that it needs to get. Before you guys get on here with your thought pieces, actually think about people that live outside of your bubble. You're not the target audience.
Oak Bluffs is home. I was gonna say that. Sorry.
All right. What do you think so far, folks? So Black people, please, please, please stop opening your mouth and letting the world know just how stupid you really are. My girl, if I would have known technology was going to catch up to dyslexia, I would have applied myself more. You're fine, Maga. His servant, what is wrong with wanting to do well for your kids and grandkids? His servant, that's what we're saying. But you have Black Americans on the lower end of the socioeconomic spectrum. They're angry. This isn't reality. Well, it's some Black Americans' reality. It may not be yours. All right. So that's what we're saying here. So we need to show more. The ghetto ratchets get enough airplay. Let's show this. This is another.
Ralph Lauren just dropped a collection both inspired by and based on Black wealth. And the best part is it's not performative. So let's tap in. I'm going to give a quick breakdown, but I highly recommend that you watch that campaign video. It's 20 minutes long, but it's very well worth it. Trust me. Just last year, Morehouse graduate James Jeter became the first Black creative director at Ralph Lauren, and he wastes no time. He's already been spearheading the Morehouse and Spelman collaborations for years. And now we got this Oak Bluffs collections, which is fire, by the way. If you ain't know, Oak Bluffs is a historic Black vacation spot on Martha's Vineyard. It's one of the few spots where wealthy Black families were welcomed for generations. It represents a level of Black excellence that the mainstream media just never shows. And that's reflected in the clothing too. We're talking linen suits, double-breasted blazers, seersucker trousers, cable knit sweaters, and more. I love to see a brand as peak as Ralph Lauren embrace a more nuanced version of Americana, one that specifically includes Black heritage, not just your average Ivy League preppy school bullshit. Now I'm dead serious. Y'all better go watch that campaign video. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
I do not want a Black all-American story when it comes to Polo Ralph Lauren, because that is not how we and people who look like me have engaged with Polo Ralph Lauren.
So yeah, Jammer. Again, you're right. Why to some people thinking success is just a white thing? So all Black people are supposed to be poor and downtrodden. Exactly. I'm really surprised the Discord, considering the soft life era dominated the Black influencer world. This screams soft life. So Coco, good point. His servants. Oh, love the blue skirt on the lady. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let's continue. So, and some of the Black ghetto ratchets are saying, oh, the only dealings we've had with Ralph Lauren was when we were stealing the polos out of the store. So listen to this.
It's never been about some elite bourgeoisie shit. We stole that shit.
We did not steal Ralph Lauren polo. You might have, the people around you might have.
See the different mindsets? You heard that first guy. Listen to this guy.
And you are better off saying that, you know what I mean, we spent our last dimes on trying to get Ralph Lauren, especially during the Young Dro era. You know, everybody wasn't stealing out of Ralph Lauren. As a matter of fact, if you lived in like Georgia, I don't know where this man's from, but if you in Georgia, most of the polo stores are on the white side of Georgia. You're not going over there to steal, buddy. You're not going over there to steal. Ralph Lauren has always been high fashion. It's always been expensive.
Yep.
Always. It's never not been. It came into the game expensive as fuck, right? So I don't think people are focused on the ticket item. I mean, the ticket price of these things, right? They're more focused on the historical fact of Oak Bluff. They're more focused on the fact that Black people were given this space to be creatives, to be themselves, things like that, right? That's what the point was. That was the point, right? And I even agree with him on one of his videos. He was saying that Young Dro should have a collab with them. I agree. I agree with that. But that should not, but we stole that shit should not be a talking point in this particular video. And that's just how I feel, bro. It kind of makes us look bad. It's kind of anti-Black. That's very anti-Black.
I do. So let me get this straight. Y'all mad at Ralph Lauren for portraying Black people in a positive light, looking like educated Black men, showing Black dandyism over the years of Black men going to historical Black colleges and being elite Black men, because you and your little dirtball ass friends used to steal polos from Macy's. That's what you want. That's what you want Black people to be portrayed as. You and your little dirtball ass friends that used to run around stealing polos from Macy's. Man, y'all gotta stop, man. Something gotta give, bro. Y'all gotta let this poor shit go, bro. My whole life as a Black man, I grew up never seeing Black boys portrayed in a positive light. Every single movie, every single music video, every single piece of art that was pushed to us is to portray us in a poorest fashion possible, so we can look violent, so we can look like nonsensical, like we lack depth. Like Black people is just a monolith. This is the reason that immigrants come to this country and think this of us, because they never portrayed us in. These immigrants come from countries full of violence, abusers, and corruption. But they think that they're better than Black Americans because of the way we're portrayed in the media, in fashion.
Have we not been saying that on this channel since the beginning of time? Jason, I worked at Macy's. I know what brands got stolen, and it was not Ralph Lauren. All right, Jason, type in the comment section. What was it? Azad Lacoste? Tell me which brands were stolen. I'd like to know. Okay, here we go.
Different spaces. And y'all mad now. We've been saying this all our life, that we need to portray ourselves in a different light. And now you upset. And it's not all of I know a lot of y'all got some sense. But to that one colorful do-rag, that dude, he just pissed me off. Why is it so cool to be poor to y'all? We need Black representation in these places. I never seen myself with some of these jobs as an engineer, a fashion designer, an architect. I never saw myself as any of that because I never seen Black men in these places. The movies that I saw, they was in the streets.
All right, he made some great points. And as he was talking, I started to think about Prince of Bel-Air and how Carlton was not the cool one, not the guy that struggled to get girls. You know, he didn't really date like the it girls, and it was more so Will Smith character playing the cool guy from the hood that came up and had this like style and fashion, funky fashion that he had. And he was always dating the best of the best, Nia Long, Tyra Banks, all the hottest women of Hollywood during the 90s. He was dating them on the show as a love interest. And it just made me think about the conditioning of what it looked like to get that type of woman. And a lot of young dudes were inspired. Like, you know, you got to be the cool guy. You got to look like this. You got to dress like this. You seen Will Smith with his hat tipped back. So it kind of.
How many of you remember that? Now, that's a show. I never did look at Will Smith's show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was still looking at All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Gunsmoke, The Rifleman. I told you, I have been stuck in a time warp. So I never did look at that show either. Right, Jeffrey. My girls, Mr. Silky Durag needs to go and read real Black American history without falling asleep and skipping. My girls, you behave. Randy and I are meeting a friend for dinner. Okay, Maga, thanks. Love. I'll be live again Monday or Tuesday, whenever. I don't know, or Wednesday. You can't wait. That's right, Jammer. Don't waste your breath. You did watch? Yeah, I didn't watch The Fresh Prince. Okay, here we go.
That made me think about that. But going back to this Ralph Lauren collection, somebody said this and it really stuck with me. They said the same people that's complaining about Ralph Lauren's Oak Bluff collection being anti-Black and elitism are the same people who probably think that it's not cool to be an engineer and a doctor, and they push their children to play sports and football. And I've talked about this before, and how in the Black community, all we see is rappers and athletes, that we're always having to be performative, that we're always having to be the star player and trying to make it to the NFL and like trying to make it to the NBA. And there's a 1% chance your child is going to make it. I'm not saying that, I mean, people make it to those arenas, but not, you know how many people don't make it? Like the percentage is very low, regardless if your child is playing sports. The goal is to get into college and have your college paid for, not to be this big NFL, NBA star. And people, it hurts a lot of people's feelings to say that, like, your child probably not gonna make it, but your child can make it in other things. I don't see how wealth and wealthy Black people who live in Oak Bluff is anti-Black, because then what is Black? Is Black poor?
Now, see, that's what she's saying. That's what, so because you're Black, you're supposed to be poor and impoverished and on welfare, and you're not supposed to own anything. You're not supposed to have anything. Lord Jammer, you can't win with the Black liberals, my girls. To them, it's always racism and white supremacy, okay? Lanita, sad so many ghetto rats are the most stuck on a name brand of products and not quality. They see it and want it because someone else has it. Yeah, cars, homes. Yeah. Like that guy this year that wasn't first and they lost their minds. Oh, you're talking about Shador Sanders. Yeah, and then they said it was racism. What a mess. I did a video on that. You were there, Shadow Seeker. How you doing, EC? White media stereotype. Boom. Here we go. We won't listen to all of her video because I have another video to share with you.
Is Black poverty? Is Black ghetto? Is Black all those negative stereotypes that other races have used against us? Is Black crime? Is being Black a criminal? Like, what is it? Because when you say things like, that's not us, we this, like, first of all, I'm going to say it. We are not a monolith. We're not a monolith. And as somebody who, I'll share my own story.
And so again, you can watch the rest of this. I've shared this link in the description box because I have to get to the next video. Yeah, but some of the Black Americans said we want to stay in the hood. Well, you can stay, enjoy, have fun. All right, hit that like button, folks, if you're here watching. Also, if you have social media pages, please share this stream out. Sorry. Now we've seen that, but I want you to hear his commentary. But people need to see that not all Black people live in the projects and just struggling every day, barely getting by. That's not reality. And we've seen this, but I want you to hear his commentary. All right. And tell me what you think about this, folks. Jeffrey, what do you mean your teacher's changing classes? Yeah, Jeffrey, all of these links you can watch for all the videos I'm sharing with you. The links are there because it will take all day if I want to show you, every video in its entirety. Anthony Charles Barkley said when he speaks at schools in Black areas, all the kids, all the kids say they want to be athletes or rappers, not doctors or lawyers. And again, that's parenting. Anthony, go talk to those kids that live there on Martha's Vineyard. That's not what they're saying. And you know, as an educator, I told you I have issues because parents will drop their sons off at 5 a.m. for basketball practice. But if we ask them to drop their child off for tutoring because they are in the 10th, 11th grade and they can't read, oh, I don't have transportation. You see the game people play? You see the game people play. So I'm just saying. Charles Barkley told the truth. Jason, the way products are targeted and marketed in our country, they don't want any of us saving a penny, let alone building generational wealth. Boom. Love you too, Jeffrey. Yeah. They blame the black ghetto life on white. Yeah, it's the whites, it's white supremacy and racism, Tina. The old go-to, the old standby. All right, here we go. So listen to Anton. He has some a commentary I want you to hear.
A tizzy again. And it's largely because they can't ever seem to agree and everything is an issue. And the issue this time is that, you know what I...
Let me get rid of it's the same thing, folks. Remember when they took Aunt Jemima off the pancake box and syrup bottle? They took Uncle Ben's off the box of rice. I actually contacted the parent company. And because, you know, her family, Aunt Jemima's family, did not want her removed. And people don't even know the history. And she became a millionaire making pancakes. That's nothing to be ashamed of. So what can you do with these people? They cry, oh, there's no black representation. You give black representation, they're still upset. So people just ignore them. All right, here we go.
Oak Bluffs, which is the second season of the Ralph Lauren experimentation collection, in which they brought in a Howard University graduate student and then took him on and then allowed for him to be able to create a second season after the successful first season of the Howard University and Black College thing. And so now it's paying inspiration and homage to Oak Bluffs, which is largely a place where Black people would be able to come together and congregate and be able to, you know, share stories while at the same time indulge in Black excellence, similar to what other people do at Martha Vineyard. But they are in a tizzy. Let me play this second video, and maybe this can give you a little bit more insight into what's going on.
Ralph Lauren just dropped a collection both inspired by and based on Black wealth. And the best part is, it's not performative, so let's tap in. I'm gonna give a quick breakdown, but I highly recommend that you watch that campaign video. It's 20 minutes long, but it's very well worth it, trust me. Just last year, Morehouse graduate James Jeter became the first Black creative director at Ralph Lauren, and he ain't waste no time. He's already been spearheading the Morehouse and Spelman collaborations for years, and now we got this Oak Bluffs collections, which is fire, by the way. If you ain't know, Oak Bluffs is a historic Black vacation spot on Martha's Vineyard. It's one of the few spots where wealthy Black families were welcomed for generations. It represents a level of Black excellence that the mainstream media just never shows. That's reflected in the clothing too. We're talking linen suits, double-breasted blazers, seersucker trousers, cable knit sweaters, and more. I love to see a brand as peak as Ralph Lauren embrace a more nuanced version of Americana, one that specifically includes Black heritage, not just your average Ivy League preppy school bullshit. And I'm dead serious. Y'all better go watch that campaign video. But anyways, y'all let me know.
So that's essentially the summary of what's going on. Now, the problem is that Black people are absolutely, you got a segment of Black people that's upset, and then you have a segment of Black people that's upset at the Black people that are upset. And this is why. Because Black people or Black culture from the North all the way to the South, and I'm not really sure about the West, but definitely in the East, we've always been fans of Ralph Lauren. We've been fans of Polo, a segment of us. Young Dro, he made it very, very popular in mainstream media as far as our affinity for it. You also have T.I. and a lot of other Big Boy, I'll say Big Boy from the South. Us in the North, I know here in Detroit specifically, and definitely over in Chicago, you know, our sister city, or we are the sister city of Chicago. We have always embraced the preppy look. As a matter of fact, when I was coming up and I graduated high school in the 2000s, it was called the pretty boys or the prep boys, and they would usually wear Gucci loafers, and we had pullover polos, and of course you had the polo the whole polo sweater, and then you also had the polo with the multicolor or the white collars, and then you had the all kind of stuff, right? It was so many different ways in which you can spice it up or make sure you show up. But it was even the polo boots. The polo boots was absolutely dope. But that segment of people that say, yo, it was different when we was growing up. We stole it and we made it popular for the hood and stuff, is clashing with a set of black people that are saying, listen, everybody wasn't poor and everybody wasn't getting boosters in order to get their stuff. And so just because Ye made it popular for that segment of people don't necessarily mean that we shouldn't embrace it. And so the hood people are saying that, Ralph Lauren, this is a slap in the face. This hiring this person from Morehouse, it wasn't Howard, from Morehouse, is a slap in the face to black culture because they need to be embracing more of the hood.
And we've already said, hit the like button, folks. The hood is already fully embraced already all across social media as well as other outlets. So they don't need any more embracing. Barnes says, I simply refer people to channels. Barnes, thank you for sharing. Yeah, those of you who go to other channels like Anton's or Black Conservative Perspective, tell people, come on over. Well, hey, they can join in the conversation too. Thank you so much, Barnes. My girls, I watched a very, very informative video that explains where the low thinking of the Black community originated. Yeah. I started. Yeah, my girls, drop the link for me.
All it is. Whereas you have a segment of black people that is saying, no, they shouldn't. And we should celebrate black wealth and people being able to go to Oak Bluffs and paying homage to something that's not performative, but it's something historical that also inspires a collection. And so there's different segments of black people that are arguing, and here's one of them, and then I'll play the second one right after that.
Black elitism got to get the fuck the same way white supremacy does. I don't give a fuck how you present it to me. I don't care.
So we know who he voted for. So he's calling it black elitism because people want to have a nice life, own a home, work hard. Listen to this.
James Jeter just dropped his second collection with Polo Ralph Lauren. The first one, Morehouse and Spelman.
First of all, I'm not really feeling a do-rag on the head. I think that is idiotic, and I think that it is absolutely stupid. But let's continue.
HBCUs were the craze. Totally get it. That was a layup. I understand. Now we're in the second collection is based off Oak Bluff. The only section in Martha's Vineyard where black people can gather and do their thing. Cool. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I do not want a black all-American story when it comes to Polo Ralph Lauren because that is not how we and people who look like me have engaged with Polo Ralph Lauren.
So again, we don't care, sir. If you grew up in the hood, that's not everyone's experience. So we're not conforming to how you grew up. Get over yourself.
It's never been about some elite bourgeoisie shit. We stole that shit.
Now, how stupid do you have to be? He's saying the way they got Ralph Lauren or whatever, they stole it in the hood. What an idiot. No, it's the dude, more like a dude jammer. Perfect.
The things that you are creating, the things that you're trying to create, the things that, like this is black excellence or black elite or whatever, we stole that shit. That is not how we engage with Polo Ralph Lauren. And for you, and while I feel like you are overly qualified to sit.
Jeffrey, exactly. Why would you come on social media and admit to committing crimes? He's making himself look like an imbecile. That is dumb. It is dumb as a box of rocks. Yes.
At the seat as creative director, you must tell these people, if you are going to leverage my blackness to help your company, we have to do it how black people have done it. At some point, you got to recognize the lowlifes. At some point, you got to recognize these other groups of people who look.
You see what he's saying? That the lowlifes and the other groups need to be represented. We've already stated they're represented on a daily basis. Oh my, yes. Is that not idiotic? No, yes.
Like us, how we were It was a rebel for us to wear these things. It was a rebellion to the American dream, to the all-American standard. We stole that shit. And for us who are using our dollar to buy polo, at best we're talking about a Macy's Dillard level. And for most of us, it's a Marshalls and Ross level. You have to get, if you are going to sit at the creative director seat, you got to understand like the access is at that Macy's Dillard level and down. We gonna steal that shit up there. That $600 jacket, the booster's back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this like to promote, you know what I'm saying, nefarious behavior and shenanigans. I'm saying it because that's how we engage with this shit. We did not engage with this shit on some like, oh, like we don't give a fuck. Like none of that shit is what we give a fuck about. And it's kind of disingenuous that you're trying to pass it on. Like,
and this is one of the reasons and one of the things that I say that we need to do better when it comes to Black culture, because we are so degenerate and we just refuse to leave the hood behind.
Okay, so his degenerate behavior that he's bragging about, hit that like button, folks. See, about 400 people have come through while we've been live. And I only have 52 likes, 439. Okay, so let's I know sometimes we start watching and we forget, but please hit that little thumb. You have to be signed into your Gmail. Okay. So this is his problem. Thank you, his servant. He's glorifying. We just steal that stuff, right? I will thank you, my girls. Thank you. Yeah, like, and that's the hood rat mentality. You see something, you want it, you take it. And you wonder why you can't get anywhere in life. Right? It's not the white man holding you down. You're holding yourself down. Stop it. Right, DeBarnes? Exactly.
Right? We got to steal. We got to do all of this stuff. Boosters is back. What the fuck is you talking about? Boosters is back. You need to be arrested and thrown in jail if you're still stealing, especially out of the clothing stores. But again, this is a demographic of people that are saying, listen, we don't care about none of that. It need to be about the hood. Ralph Lauren has always been a higher tiered brand. You know what I'm saying? It has always been at the top of the totem pole when it comes to clothing and how it is that you wear your clothing and so on and so forth. Even the t-shirts, the polo bear, that was always a real thing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of people copy that probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And it was a really big thing. But there's another demographic that's actually speaking to the degeneracy, and they pushing back. They saying, no, we not like that. And we actually do have Black people that's not niggas that actually care about the culture, that is a higher representation of what it is, and we separate ourselves from that.
Ready? Now this other young lady, I want you to hear what she has to say. Excellent commentary. Sorry that some of these words are curse words, but I still want you to hear this.
So the Black Americans that don't like Ralph Lauren's Oak Bluff or something super negative to say about it are the same Black Americans that think only Black Americans can live in this weird ghetto aesthetic. They think we only live down south, we're only poor, we have no fathers, our mothers are pieces of shit, and nobody has natural hair. They think as Black people, as Black Americans, that we are a monolith and we don't exist in other echelons, in other socioeconomic classes. We're not degree holders. You know, we don't go to the Hamptons and Montauk. Our children don't play tennis. We're not lawyers or doctors. They don't quite understand that Black Americans have been in this country. Literally, we were on the skirmish field when the first shot heard around the world in Lexington happened. We, Black Americans, were there. We have been here this whole time. We have obtained so much. We are not Black trash, fucking hood rat, ghetto aesthetic. And I find that the people that think the Ralph Lauren, that particular collection, is garbage and terrible is because they live in this monolith that we can't be beyond poverty. Like, we can't be beyond victimhood. Like, we can't be anything but like piece of shit trash. And it's like, dude, we have been in this country for like 350 fucking years. We are this country. This country is us. We are bourgeois here. We have obtained elite degrees. We are congressmen. We are senators. We were president. I mean, Jesus, we have been everything. Ambassadors. Stop acting like there's only one type of Black person. We exist in all facets of society, in all socioeconomic classes. And it's not our fault that you would rather your children listen to Sexy Red and be influencers or athletes, and the rest of us would rather our children be doctors or lawyers and listen to Mozart, because we understand that vibration is healing, and it actually heals and makes new connections in your brain synapses, versus Sexy Red is toilet fucking water bowl trash bag music. That's the difference. The difference is our children will succeed because we understand Black Americans don't live in a monolith, while your child's going to end up 15 with 3 baby daddies. That's the difference. It's the mindset that some of these Black Americans have versus the rest of us, understanding that we come in all shapes and sizes, we come in all differences, and we come in all socioeconomic classes. And the Oaks Bluff is telling the story.
I tend to agree with her.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, they're all different shapes and sizes. And then if I told you, if you go on TikTok and other forms of social media, people are talking about this. So that hood rat behavior, no, not everyone. No, I am not living like that. No way. And then, like I said, they're trying to call themselves trying to cancel Ralph Lauren. And so I went on, Righteous Perspective. He dropped in on us before. And I just wanted to show you, hit that like button, folks. Share this stream out on your various forms of social media. And so let me get this queued up. And we won't look at the first part. We've already seen that. But I wanted you to hear what he had to say. And we're not going to listen to this guy because we just listened to him. That was talking about the guy with the red do-rag, and he's talking about look at Righteous Perspective just dropped his head, because again, this idiot is, those of you just joined, this idiot's on here talking about his nefarious activities of stealing. That's how they get Ralph Lauren products and other products. They go out and steal them, continue to perpetrate the stereotype. What an idiot! And look at a Righteous Perspective. He's done with them. What an idiot. If you're committing crimes, why are you on social media bragging about it? Oh, all right. So let's hear what he has to say.
Ridiculous. And you wonder why a lot of other ethnicities in our nation doesn't take Black people seriously, because of this foolishness. This young man created a line. The line is fire, representing HBCUs. It's showcasing clothing that is, it's posh, it's clean, but at the same time, it's very nice looking. Yeah, it's on the more expensive side of things, and it actually represents a moment in history, and people can't appreciate it. And you would rather him showcase the lowest of us in comparison to highlighting the best. It makes absolutely no sense to me. We are not a monolith. All Black folks aren't in the hood. All Black folks aren't on the system. All Black people aren't out there boosting their Ralph Lauren.
Boosting, you know what that means. Those, I think that means you that's when you, what they call the 5-finger discount.
I rocked Ralph Lauren back in the day. Never stole it a day in my life. Now, I might have did some other things, but I didn't do that. This is ridiculous, man. And sometimes, man, I really think that some people just don't necessarily need platforms. I understand, TikTok, there's a lot of money being made over there. I understand even on YouTube and Insta and Facebook, but sometimes some things aren't worth being said. It's better to keep it to yourself. And this was one of them. Seriously. And the fact that you won't hear with your glasses and a do-rag on, that tells us everything that we need to know about you, sir. Seriously. I need you to go take 2, 3, 4, 5 seats down. How can we ask, for representation, a seat at the table, development in the communities, and when it happens, You upset about it because it didn't happen in a hood way, in the most degenerate way possible. Because it doesn't represent the lowest amongst us. Do you understand how crazy that sounds?
For senior women who
Lanita says, if I see this shady red scarf dude, I'm locking my car door. That's right, because you know he's coming to rip you off. He just told you he's a thief. I'm just saying. Let me get rid of this commercial.
Goodness gracious, man.
So that special segment of the Black community is upset with Ralph Lauren for representing Black people in a positive light. I guess Nike Tech's furry slippers and bonnets is what represent Black people, huh? Wrong. You do know that there was a time that there was 2 parents in the household. And there was a time that Black women actually followed the direction of Black fathers. I mean, I just don't understand how that certain segment of the Black community is offended by everything, but ashamed by nothing. I mean, how can you be upset with the Oak Bluff line? I mean, do you research? Let me answer that for you. No, you don't. And newsflash, a plain Jane Rolex holds much more value than a bust down. I mean, at this point, you can't make this stuff up. Ghetto fatigue is real, and it's alive.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. When are you guys going to let go of that EBT mentality?
That's it.
I mean, it doesn't serve us right. And that stereotype affects all of us, the good and the bad.
He's absolutely right. I'm not going to add much more to that. We're just going to move on to the next clip. This brother right.
How you doing, Vicky? Vicky, hit the little thumb, the like button, dear. Yeah, and as he said, it affects all of us. Jason, haven't the people criticizing this situation ever heard of the Streisand effect? I don't think so, Jason, but they need to hear about it. All right.
It was cooking.
Ralph Lauren just dropped a fire collection that celebrates Black wealth and Black excellence. And here some of y'all are being offended by it. And I think the reason why some of y'all are offended is because you can't even imagine yourself being somewhat successful. Most of y'all just live your life based off struggle, and that's all you know. And it's part of the reason why Tyler Perry still makes so much money by repeating the same struggle movies over and over again. Y'all love stuff like that, but when you see Black people being portrayed in a positive light, that offends y'all, which is weird and wild to think about. Image is so important, and I swear some of y'all do not understand that. And I'm not talking about putting out an image so people can like you or people can accept you. It's about putting out a good image so that they can respect you. But yeah, I'm not surprised because these are the same people that idolize rappers and entertainers in the Black community. Some of y'all have never even left your city that you grew up in. So you don't know what the world has to offer. The only thing you know is the same shit that you see every single day. There's so much more to life beyond the color of your skin.
I would agree.
I agree. Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat, love. I am sending you some heart. Yeah, so the struggle, you know, no, everyone's not struggling. Lanita, yep, the EBT mentality is real. Boom. How you doing, Vicky? Here we go.
Agree with him 1000%. There's a lot of low vibrational, low energy individuals out there that can't see themselves for any more than what they are. And they can't see you for any more than what they are.
That's right.
You can't make people want more for themselves than they want for themselves.
That's right.
You can't make people do things to better themselves if they're not willing to do so. You just can't. And that's what we're seeing right here. That's what we're seeing here. You get a lot of people out there that talk about delineation and the segregation and the separation of the races. Man, miss me with all of that, man. Miss me with all of that. These are also the same people, you know, that say they want, you know, X amount of money. You know, the white man's evil. They're the ones keeping us down. And here it is.
You're keeping yourself down. They have their hands out begging for reparations. They're complaining about white supremacy holding them down. They're complaining about systemic racism holding them down. No, ma'ams, no, sirs. It is your behavior. and your life choices or lack thereof. I will continue.
This is an example, of folks out here telling the world that they don't want to see Black people showcased in a positive light. It's sickening. It's disgusting, to say the least.
So people really don't see how this Ralph Lauren collection is literally Jordan all over again. So,
God, Lanita, I know Lanita and my girls are going to roast this woman. So, she has a ghetto ratchet hood mentality. Listen to this crap.
As somebody from the hood, can I give a hood perspective on this? As somebody that didn't believe everybody from the hood stole their polo or their Ralph Lauren or their Black label. Okay, thank you. So when Jordan came out with Jordan's shoe, literally, what did he say? Those shoes were for white kids. It was not for the Black demographic because they couldn't afford $100 shoes. But who made those shoes famous? Who made them popular? Who made them what they are today? The Black people in the ghetto that he thought they couldn't afford those shoes. He thought wouldn't make him a billionaire, but did. Right?
There is no credible evidence that Michael Jordan ever said the Air Jordan shoes was for white kids only.
I don't know where she got that, but I've never heard Jordan. Jordan stayed away from racial topics. So I don't know where she heard that. I've never heard that. And I know I'm older than she is. So Barnes, you're right. Tara Toy, how you doing? Dandyism is from classy Black Americans, including the Harlem era in the 1940s. She does not know history. Tara Toy. Yes, I have some new people in here. Tara Toy and Lisa, hit the like button, love. Also, ladies, hit the subscribe button if you are enjoying this live. And Tina Vendetti, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit the like button, ladies. If you ladies and gentlemen have Facebook, Instagram, Truth Social, please share this stream out. I shared some earlier videos and you want to watch, you really want to watch the Ralph Lauren video, very well put together. All the videos I'm using are in the description box. You can check them out when we're done with the live. So listen to this lady. Oh my God.
It didn't happen. And this is a youngin'. I grew up during that time frame.
Me too.
I remember when the Jordan 1s came out. I was a youngin', but I remember when they came out. I never heard that. And this particular quote, it's been wildly circulated, and it's been attributed to him that, he makes shoes for white suburban kids, not the poor Black kids. That would be like opening a restaurant for people without stomachs. And this came from some article that originated back in 2014, published by Celebricity, a known satire website.
Who they make up lies for views and clicks.
The quote, it's entirely fictional. Why are people still continuing to propagate or push this particular quote here? It's entirely fictional. And it was later debunked by Snopes, which confirmed that Jordan never made such a statement. The one statement that Jordan did say is, hey, Republicans buy sneakers too. He did say that. And that's why he decided to absolve or stay out of politics.
Jordan, I remember Jordan would not say anything political. I even remember he had on during the 90s, it was popular to wear those Malcolm X hats, and he had one on, and someone asked him a question about him wearing that hat. I never saw him with that hat on again. He did not get into anything political. Yeah, Tina, yeah, he's great. I watch him all the time too. Yeah, Righteous Perspective. He's good. All right, here we go.
Because
hit the like button, Tina. All of you hit the like button and share this on your social media pages. Thank you so much.
Because of that, he said, I don't want to ruffle the feathers of anyone that's going to mess with the money, that's going to mess with my businesses. Bottom line.
That's right.
I'm not going to jump on and cape for no Democrat. I'm not jumping on and caping for no Republican. I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to do me privately, which is what the GOAT has been doing for quite some time.
Did I not just say that? Jordan did not get into anything political. Never, ever. I know. I was growing up. He never. Anyone asked him a question, he went next way. He did not.
Although I am looking forward to him being on NBC throughout the NBA season. I may not watch NBA games, but I will pull up to listen to the GOAT.
This is why
Tina, you remember too? Tina. Okay, there we go. All right. Let me get rid of this commercial. We're going to listen to one more person, and then we should be done with this video clip here. Here we go. Jordan was smart. Yeah, he didn't want to stop that money. He never said anything about politics. Never. Okay, Tina. Okay. Tina knows. Yeah.
That's the fact.
Right? So the connection between Ralph Lauren and the Black community, I'm sorry, it's not the Jack and Jills. It's not the HBCUs. And I'm not hating. I love the fact that they got the HBCUs in there. I love it just as much as I loved it when I saw Cardinals on the Ralph Lauren shirt. Right? Exactly. So with that being said, I'm not hating on nobody. But I do want y'all to see the connection, because Black people in the hood have been wearing Ralph Lauren as long as rappers have been wearing Ralph Lauren. The Wu-Tang Clan, they literally was Ralph Lauren down. You saw them in Ralph Lauren before you saw Aaliyah and Tommy. That's how deep the connection with the ghetto do Ralph Lauren polo go. Authentic, big boys, jackets, hoodies, all of that. But guess what? They never stopped buying that in the hood. They never stopped buying those $200-300 jackets, those $200 shirts with the big rap or L on them. Black people been buying that in the hood. The reason why Black people even are relevant to Ralph Lauren to this day is because of people from the hood. Y'all can say I'm crazy. Y'all can disagree all you want. But let's be real here. The same people y'all saying that cannot afford it, or the people that's been buying it and affording it. It's actually disrespectful, because just like Jordan was disrespectful thinking that Black people from the hood couldn't buy his shoes, they surprised them and they maxed them out. Just like they been maxing Ralph Lauren out. Ralph Lauren in the Black neighborhood, guess what? People literally go and buy Ralph Lauren every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. That's literally like the blueprint of a Thanksgiving outfit. A Ralph Lauren collar shirt with the big.
I can't. I'm tired of the ignorance, yo. Seriously.
It's hard to take her ignorance. It is.
I'm tired of it, man. This is, yeah.
I'm sorry, but getting on the internet and being upset about the Oak Bluffs collection from Polo Ralph Lauren with Spelman and Morehouse lets me know that you need to do the internal work to unpack why the personification of Black wealth makes you uncomfortable. A lot of people don't like to acknowledge the fact that Black wealthy people exist. And I'm talking about wealthy people who exist outside of like the entertainment industry.
That's right.
Or sports. I'm talking about people who are presidents, CEOs, partners, who have built immense generational wealth for their families, who engage with brands like Ralph Lauren the way in which it's depicted in their new collection. I saw someone say that they know for a fact that no Black people were wearing Ralph Lauren like that. And I said that's not true, because I know people who have worn the brand like that, who I myself have bought things and worn the brand in that way. So are you going to tell me that I'm not Black, or my lived experience as a Black person is not valid because I didn't grow up in the same socioeconomic status as you, or because I didn't engage with certain brands the same way that you? No, you can't tell me that. In fact, I did have some people say that it's less valid because, Black culture is rooted in hood aesthetics, which I thought was extremely problematic. I think that is a subset of Black culture, but that is not all of Black culture. I even saw someone say with their full chest that Blackness is monolithic, regardless of your likes and dislikes or your ideological perspectives, because we all have to deal with race in this country, and even globally, we have a monolithic experience. And it's usually coming from men who say those things because they lack the understanding of things like intersectionality and what it means to be a woman and being Black, or what it means to be queer and Black, or like queer, Black, and a woman, something like that.
Nope. She went off the rails. I was with her until she went there. We're going to keep it moving.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a little lesson about Black people and wealthy people. I am Black. I'm not wealthy, but I've been in wealthy circles, and there is a huge difference. But before I tell you, watch this.
And we've already seen that. And I know some of you have joined late, but I've just killed the sound. We've already seen that. I'm basically showing this to you so you can hear what people are saying. But I have this video shared in the description box because I wanted to show you a few shorts. Okay. Oh my God. Right, Tina. She did go off the rails with the woke speech. Yeah. So let me, all right. Can I get one more person to hit the like button, please? Oh my God. Over 500 people have come through. I only have, oh my God, 59 likes. If everyone had hit that like button when they came through, do you know where we would be right now? Okay, I am going to show, let me go to TikTok. I just have a couple of short clips on TikTok, and then we will be done. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only content creator that has problems getting people to hit that little thumb. What? Who knew that would be so difficult? Wow. All right. So again, this is all over TikTok. There's that idiot again. All right. So if you go on, Miss Connie, you said that you were lost. You have any questions, dear? You said you were confused. What were you confused about? Because I'll try to go ahead and see if I can help you out there. And then you have this. I watched a few of these. This lady, is it okay for me to wear? Hey, whatever you spend your money on, forget all that cultural appropriation. So this lady wants to buy some of it, but she's like, is it okay? Yeah, that's your money. So let me show you.
The Oak Bluffs collection by Ralph Lauren is causing a lot of discourse on TikTok. And look, for obvious reasons, I wouldn't even begin to speak on the Black experience in the United States. For that matter, I've never even been to Martha's Vineyard. I've never been to like the Hamptons or any of those East Coast cities that surround, wealth and luxury and so forth. I'm from Los Angeles. I have a very diverse group of friends, and I've asked them this question. Do you think I should get the Spelman sweater? Because I love it. And they've all said, yeah, you should totally get it. But they know me and they know my intent and they know my heart. But if I go out and about in public and I wear this sweater and, am I appropriating? Is this the right thing to do? Look, I know I'm always going to offend somebody somewhere for something. That's just, the climate that we're living in right now. But I love the sweater and I love everything that has to do with Spelman University as well. So I feel like it would be representing the university in a positive way, but I don't want to offend anybody. So this is very new territory for me. So I don't really know what to do. And I need some guidance on this. I am trying to learn as much as I can about why there is discourse. I'm watching all of the TikToks for people who are on both sides of the fence on this subject and this topic and this luxury line and all the things that are associated with it. I'm trying my best to understand and learn. In the meanwhile, I love the Spelman sweater and I don't know if I should get it.
Okay. So again, I watched a few of these and yeah, here's another one I watched.
Watching the response to Ralph Lauren's new Oak Bluff collection has been one of the most disappointing and wildest things I've seen on social media in a long time. The same people who love music and films about twerking, gangbanging, unaliving people, prostitution, and a bunch of other degenerate behaviors, all of a sudden have a problem now with our image being portrayed as this. Y'all scroll the shade room, watch baddies every single day, and don't have a single complaint. But all of a sudden, this is an issue. And I'm seeing people say things like, this doesn't represent us as.
That's what I said, Connie. That's why I tell people to just go ahead and do what you're going to do. It doesn't matter. Like this gentleman is saying, they're representing Black Americans, which again, not all Black Americans are poor. And now they're still upset. So just go ahead and do what you're going to do. Some of these people are so miserable, then you can't make them happy. Just forget it. So now, Tina, why hate when you can appreciate from a distance? I don't know. Ralph Lauren. God, Lord Jamma said, "Oh God, I must have missed something." I'm sorry if I'm missing your comments. Right, Anthony, this should not be an issue. It's ridiculous. Listen to this guy, though. He's absolutely right.
Us as a people, and I'm so confused because I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Black people have always had pride and dignity when it comes to their fashion and appearance. And this is a prime example. So this is my great-great-great-grandfather right here in the middle. This is my great-great-grandfather, and this is my grandmother's twin brother. These two men here were born in the 1800s. He was born in the early 1930s. This picture was taken in the early 1950s. And these were sharecroppers. These were not wealthy men. But as you can see from their appearance, these are sharp gentlemen. They got on overcoats, suits and ties, nice fedora-style hats. They dress with a sense of pride, respect, and confidence. Yep. And what people don't understand is this was the norm in the Black community prior to the 1970s.
Yep.
This is a picture of Black people in the 1930s. And look at their appearance. Dressed nicely, professionally. They all seem like they got a sense of confidence and pride in their appearance.
Yep.
What people don't know is this style of dressing, it didn't change until the late 1970s. The civil rights movement gave birth to a new style of Afrocentrism. People started wearing dashikis, afros, leather jackets. It was a different statement of pride at the time. But even then, there was always a class of Black people that maintained that classy, professional, preppier look. And then when the 1980s came and hip hop was on the rise, that's when we see the style kind of make a whole 180. And that's when you start to see more tennis shoes, baggier clothes, gold chains. And a large part of this happened because by this time, a lot of the Black families were being torn apart. And a lot of the fathers wasn't in the home anymore due to the crack epidemic, the welfare system, mass incarceration, and all that impacted how people viewed themselves and their appearance. So this emerged as a rebelliousness and a buck against the system. But even then, through all of that, you still had a class of Black people in those times that still prioritized the classy, sophisticated aesthetic, which is why you had shows like The Cosby's, which was the #1 show in America at that time. And probably why it was created, because he still wanted to people to have that pride in feeling professional, looking professional, and acting classy and sophisticated. And that leads us to today, where the average Black person, still to this day, heavily influenced by hip hop culture, dresses in streetwear and designer labels. But even then, there's always been a class of Black people that always prefer to dress more classy, traditional, and sophisticated. And that brings us back to this. The reason why so many of us have a problem with this aesthetic and this appearance being shown to the world as a representation of us is because many of us believe that dressing classy is an attempt of trying to be white. And it's because we don't know the history that I just explained. Too many of us, we only associate Blackness with criminality, poverty, and struggle. And if any of those things aren't in a representation, we feel like that's not us. That doesn't signify or represent us. When the reality is, no people, period, in the world are a monolith, but Black people specifically, we not a monolith. Even though majority of us do make less than $50,000 a year annually, there still has always been a large class of Black people that are affluent. And even for those that aren't well off, there has always been a class of Black people, even the ones in poverty. It's always been a class of Black people that aspire to be affluent and aspire to look, dress like this, and have this kind of lifestyle. And it has nothing to do with wanting to be white or wanting white acceptance. So this new polo collection is not just a random thing that doesn't make sense. It's an ode to our history and our tradition. And that's not for everybody. Some of y'all, I know some of y'all just love streetwear, and there's nothing that's gonna change that. A lot of y'all obsessed with designer labels, and there's nothing that's gonna change that. But there's still a huge segment of Black people that appreciate and love this style of clothing. And it's a lot of them, including myself. If you're not into class, sophistication, tradition, this right here, this collection, it ain't for you. Watching the response to Ralph.
Okay, so and then I'm not going to show you all of this, but there, yeah, if you come on here, everyone is giving their thoughts. There's a red do-rag. But yeah, you can come through and look at some of these. You have some people on here that are salty and claiming, oh, they're being elites and the hood isn't being represented. You know my thoughts on that already. So yeah. And this lady right here, I think her family is from, I'll show you this last one. Because I think her family is actually from there. All right, here.
Okay, I wanted to show my jacket. This is the
that one. See, you click on something and then something else pops up. So I wanted, yeah, this is the one I clicked on. So let me see.
Okay, I wanted to show my jacket.
Babe's hungry. I got to be quick, friends, but I just got back.
All right, so I'm trying to show you this one, but this one, you see, I'm clicking on that one, and then this one's popping up. So just forget it. But anyway, this lady right here, I watched hers earlier, and her family, yeah, thank you, Lord Jammer. Her family's actually from Martha's Vineyard, and she's still there, I think. So, and she's Black, and she's like, what's wrong with people? Why are they upset? So I wanted to show you her story, and I don't know why. I don't know how TikTok operates, but anyway. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Really, Jeffrey? Oh my goodness. Lord Jammer, that sounds like an 80s movie, Time Machine. I wish we could go back. Yes, Lord Jammer, and that's what we've said. So you know how I feel about it. I don't have a problem with it. And I like it. And stop throwing everyone in the same pot, because you have all kinds of people represented. And you know that's just where we are with that. All right. That's how I lost all my money. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Miss Connie, I hope that we I think I don't know if you had any more questions, but that's all I had for you. Oh wow, we had over 600 people to come through. So yeah, people are talking about this now on YouTube, on other forms of social media. Oh, everyone, yes. I agree. So I don't know. I'll be live probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know. Just depends on what's going on. But I will be live. And I enjoyed you. Don't forget, once the live stream ends, if you will, I'm still trying to grow the channel. It seems like every day we have more and more people coming through. I'm enjoying it. I'm meeting new people, and I am loving it. So Tina Vendetti, God bless. I'm out. Yes, Tina, you too. Make sure you have it on all. You subscribed and it's on all notifications so you don't miss. Okay. Anthony, good to see you again. It's been a while. His servant, I think you're new here. Make sure your subscription, you hit the subscribe button and it is on all notifications. His servant, I'm glad you found it. Yes. And I'll be live. If you have it on all notifications, I normally go live through the week about 6 o'clock, 6:30 are the times that I normally go live. And every Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m., I'm live. And there's only like one Sunday that I don't go live. That will be next Sunday because that's my family reunion. I will be out of town. So I'll make sure to do an extra video for you through the week since I won't be able to have a live next Sunday. Okay. Lord Jammer, I am trying, dear. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this. And share again. If you want to help me share the stream out, please say, hey, I mean, because a lot of you go to some of the same content creators that I look at, like what's his name? Righteous Perspective, who we just looked at, and a Black Conservative Perspective, all of that, Yeah, everyone be safe, and we will definitely not stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. How you doing, Beverly? Yeah, I know. Yes. And hey, in Greensboro, North Carolina. God bless you too. Citizen Kane, both Obama and Harris learned that elitism doesn't have a long shelf life in the FBA. And Citizen, I wanted to show this because the only depictions you see of Black Americans, they're struggling, they're poor, on the verge of homelessness, hopelessness. So I wanted to show that not everyone is struggling. Some people are doing very well, but you don't see them in the media. Sure, Beverly, I'll have to send you a wish sandwich. Right, Beverly? All right, I'm going to come talk to you in the comment section. Let me see. Let me see. Here we go. I'll come and talk to you as long as you're there. And then don't forget, if you really want to help the channel grow, if you will, once the live stream ends, if you will come and leave comments up under the description box. That's what YouTube loves, engagement. YouTube, Beverly. Those of you who have to hit that clock tomorrow like I do, hey, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I don't take it lightly that you are here with me. There are thousands of content creators, and the fact that you decide to spend it with me, hey, I appreciate it, okay? Okay, be careful, Chicago Hood. Chicago Hood's driving home now. And I'm coming to talk to you now in the comment section. All right, share this stream out. Share it with family and friends. That helps the channel to grow exponentially. All right, thank you so much, Nuckin. Okay, and again, look for me. I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know. Just depends on what's going on. Between 6 o'clock and 6:30 is when I'll be live. Okay. All right, Jermaine, hit the like button, please. All right. And I'm coming to talk to you now in the comment section. Thank you again for spending your time. And don't forget, when the live stream is over, please leave some comments. I promise I will respond to all of them. Thank you as well, Connie. I'm coming to speak to all of you now.